The GTA 6 leaks a couple of months ago were real. Now, which leaks I don't honestly remember because there have been like a million leaks for GTA 6 presumably at this point, but we finally do have some real confirmation that some of it was true. So, let's see what it was.
GTA 6 just got some huge news. The game roll leak was indeed real. For months, we have been debating, debunking, and arguing whether or not the massive list of features that dropped a while back from leaker game roll were real or not. We all thought it was too detailed to be true. We thought these.
Oh, I do remember that. It truly was an insane level of detail. Well, to be honest, that's why they call it Rockstar levels of nonsense. Red Dead 2 could pull it off, then maybe this can also.
700 interable interiors was a pipe dream. Well, today what we have is effectively confirmation that this information is legitimate, at least at the time of the leak. Rockstar Games just admitted to firing multiple developers across the globe, specifically for leaking confidential information that aligns perfectly with the timeline of these reports. We're talking everything from the return of the 6-star wanted level to the revolutionary dual protagonist mode that lets you.
Yo, 6-star wanted level is insane. That means tanks and the army and whatnot are coming after you, and that is the fun stuff.
Control both characters at the same time, and unfortunately we're talking about some beloved features that have reportedly been cut from the game. So we're gonna break it all down, guys. We have a lot to cover, so check the chapters for easy viewing and let's dive in. So first things first, we have to establish why we are taking this leak seriously now. Usually leaks are just like, you know, trust me bro moments, but this time we have receipts from Rockstar Games themselves. A new report from Bin over at Videotech UK has highlighted a specific legal disclosure from Rockstar, which they pointed to their zero tolerance approach to leaks and confirmed 3 separate high profile firings. And to quote, Rockstar dismissed an employee in Lincoln, UK in April 2025 who allegedly disclosed confidential information about GTA 6 to a third party, and dismissed an employee in the US in November 2023 and another one in India in November 2025. Now the time.
Wait, they have people working in India for them? Oh no, that sounds horrible.
I mean, here is really everything. The November 2023 firing aligns with the first major trailer leaks, but the April 2025 firing in the UK, well, that kind of lines up perfectly with when the game.
Honestly, how stupid do you need to be to actually leak something? You're working at GTA 6. It doesn't matter what happens with the game. It can be the wokest thing ever, and you know, the fears of GTA wokeness are still obviously a real thing, but it doesn't matter if it's the most focused game ever. Your name is still gonna be on the most sold game in human history. One of the most anticipated event in human history. And you're sacking it for what exactly? Now, for what? A little bit of street cred? Bro! You're lucky probably Rockstar doesn't sue you out of oblivion.
Game roll information started to circulate in private Discord servers before hitting the public. Now we have to be real here. Rockstar doesn't fire people just for making up fan fiction. They fire people for breaking NDAs and revealing trade secrets. The fact that they fired these people and they cited the dismissals as like proof of their security measures tells us that the information that they leaked out was real or accurate, or at least damaging enough to cost people their careers. Now, it just so happens that Rockstar is dealing with a legal battle against,
or maybe the attempt was actually like legit,
a union, and that's why this information came out. So it could be that they're citing these, you know, quote unquote leaks, or this now what seems to be legitimate leaks, as a reason for dismissal, so that they can kind of pin the firing on the leaks rather than wrongful termination lawsuits. It's essentially killing the union's leverage, because no union can legally protect an employer who is proven to have stolen company data, or in this case, leaking company data.
Employee, the employer is the one who hires the people, okay? Don't get it twisted.
So there's definitely a greater play happening here, but I do think that, you know, them leaking this information, I mean, it got out there somehow, and if Rockstar...
I absolutely love that we already know that Lucy is gonna have her girl boss moments, okay? Girl boss, please take me home moments. Oh, this is gonna be great. If we are running by the idea that GTA 6 is gonna be woke, I can already tell you how this is gonna play out. Not even that complicated, honestly. Lucy and what's his face go to a place to get some information or they need something, and the guy says, "Well, if you're willing to fight," and then Lucy's like, "I got this. I got this. I'm built different, you see." And then she goes and she beats everyone up, and they're like, "Whoa, girl power." Yeah, you know it's gonna be some garbage like that.
I mean, it got out there somehow, and if Rockstar is citing it that these firings are because of the leaks, then I have reason to believe them. At the end of the day, look at Rockstar and, you know, the whole GTA 6, I guess we'll say, story. Like, this game started off with the big, massive leak of Rockstar that happened, I think, in like 2021, where we got to see footage of this game. So they've been dealing with leaks from the get-go, essentially. So what exactly did they leak? Let's start off by talking about the gameplay portion, because there are some massive returns to form here. The big feature, obviously, is the 6-star wanted levels returning, which this is really exciting. Like, we haven't seen 6 stars since GTA 4, and GTA 5, 5 stars was the max, which I guess it made sense because it was GTA 5. And with this game being GTA 6, it only makes sense for them to bring back the 6-star wanted level, which implies that we're going to be seeing an escalation that we haven't seen in years. Are we talking tanks that are going to be deployed? What are we talking about? Maybe National Guard?
Hopefully we're talking about tanks and stuff. It would be so cool, fighter jets.
Hard locking down the entire state of Leonida. Either way, it suggests that the police AI is going to be far more aggressive and tactical, and that's the part that I'm most excited about. Now, in the leak, there is also the relationship bar. We saw hints of this in the 2022 alpha footage, but Game Roll confirms it is a core mechanic that works like the honor system in Red Dead Redemption 2. This isn't just quote-unquote romance. This likely affects how Jason and Lucia interact in combat. If your relationship is high, maybe they share ammo or cover each other better. If it's low, maybe they start like arguing during mid gunfights or refuse to help. Either way, it adds like another layer of RPG management to the overall chaos that we're expecting to get. Now, for the immersion lovers, the weight mechanics are back, just like San Andreas and Red Dead 2. Your character's physique will change based on diet and exercise. This is the kind of detail that only Rockstar bothers with. If you want a ripped Jason, you're gonna have to hit the gym, and same goes for Lucia. The next leak that we have to talk about is probably one
I can already see what people are gonna do with that. They're gonna make her as fat as possible. They're gonna make her into a fridge. Oh no, this is gonna be amazing.
It is the most genre defining, and the leak details the character wheel. We know we can switch between Jason and Lucia respectively, but the leak also specifies there are 3 distinct options. There's solo Jason, there's solo Lucia, and then there is dual protagonist control, which the dual protagonist mode is the game changer. The leak says Jason and Lucia can be controlled at the same time to rob together in the open world. Some missions are also started using the 2 of them at once. So for instance, like imagine walking into a liquor store, you press a button, and instead of the AI standing there, you are commanding both of them. You tell Jason to hold the, clerk at gunpoint while you control Lucia emptying the register. Or maybe you have like Lucia drive the getaway car while you're controlling Jason shooting out the window. Which, if this does work seamlessly in the free mode, it is the biggest innovation in open world that we've seen since GTA 5 introduced.
True, that would be massive, but I have a question. Do you think that's necessary, honestly? Do you think it's actually necessary that you can move around with 2 characters and you go into the store and one of them does the one thing and the other? Is that necessary? I don't know. And if they... You're never gonna actually be controlling 2 characters at the same time, though. That's kind of the trick, right? Even if they go into the store and one does one, it's just a scripted event. It's not actually you controlling characters. So, is that necessary? I honestly kind of think that something like that would not really be necessary.
The character switching. However, there are some controversies in the combat mechanics. The leak mentions a Deadeye-like ability, mainly for Jason, that slows down time and it like reveals weak spots, which that does sound great, but for Lucia, the source says that she can do that as well, but it's only for 1 shot. The source of the leak explicitly noted that this mechanic is apparently super bad and they hope it gets changed, but it's meant to show that Jason is a better shot because of his army background, while Lucia is more of like the street brawler. Now let's shift focus to the world of Leonida. This right here is where the leak gets ambitious to the point of almost disbelief. Back in the day when I read this for the first time, I was like, there's no way that this is gonna happen. And that is, the leak claims that there are 700 enterable shops and interiors in GTA 6. Yeah, I'm gonna say it again, 700 enterable interiors. In most open world games, you're lucky to get like 50 of them, which if this is true, it means that almost every strip mall, every gas station, and major building is accessible. We're talking skyscrapers, you're likely actually going to be able to explore enterable shopping malls with working elevators, even though I don't know how significant a shopping mall would get, because are there even shopping malls nowadays? But either way, this solves one of the biggest issues that I had with GTA 5 where...
Well, not in America at least. In a lot of places they have kind of crumbled to dust.
Essentially, the entire game felt like a facade where you had all these buildings, but not many of them you could actually get into. Now, if you watch my last video where I discussed the GTA 6 mapping project, the game rule leak also states no panhandle. It claims that the map is an island and lacks the northern extension that many fans are hoping for, which if this is true, this means the map will be more, circular or oval shape rather than the boot shape of real Florida. So not only did, this leak talk about the panhandle not actually existing, but also the mapping project corroborates that as well. And that's based on evidence and stuff from the, videos and screenshots and leaks we've seen.
That is actually super disappointing. GTA 6 still has the problem of if this is the map, people are going to be pissed. Because this is not big. I talked about this already, but too long didn't read. This is not a big map. And if this part doesn't exist right here, it probably takes roughly something like 22 minutes just to make a full lap around the map. That is not that much. And when you look at this, and the previous map project, by the way, was extremely on point, and this is done by the same people. So this is the current map project. And we have no reason to actually believe that it's not going to be at least like 70% plus accurate. So you have Vice City. And what the fuck do you have after that? This? Like, this is one street. This is two streets. This is nothing. An oil place? Like this place right here? You can... there's actually stuff at the bottom also there, but you can't see it. There's not a lot. There is not a lot to actually, do. Again, this is all of Vice City. How fast could you get through the, your first save location place in Vice City? 1 minute? Less? 2 minutes? It's not a lot. This is very concerning for a lot of people, including myself. Now, granted, if it's populated with enough shit, it's gonna be fun, obviously. If it's as big and as populated as GTA 5, yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be good. I'm not too worried about this failing, but the size is just a letdown. It feels like a letdown. I expected 10 times this. A lot of people expected at least 10 times this, honestly. People expected unbelievably huge. This is not unbelievably huge. This is very, very expectedly small.
Screenshots and leaks we've seen. Also confirmed is the explorable underwater areas with treasure and secrets, which in terms of the open world, with this being a Florida type game, I was hoping that we would get more ocean activities. So if that is indeed real, that's exciting news. Now the leak then talks about some content that is not in the game, which this is going to be a tough pill to swallow, but take your pills, pilots. First and foremost, we have dual wielding is not in the game. This right here is a massive disappointment. We had dual wielding in San Andreas. We had it in Max Payne 3, and the idea of running around Vice City with 2 MAC-10s felt like a given. So if that's not going to happen, then that is a massive L in my opinion. Now it could mean that they're trying to prioritize a more realistic inventory system where you have to physically hold the weapon, similar to Red Dead Redemption 2.
I hope they don't.
But again, it's GTA 6. I was hoping for something cool like that. Now the next thing that is cut, or rather non-existent, is prone. You cannot lay on the ground, which this is a small thing, but for stealth and sniper gameplay, being able to go prone would be huge. But they're also likely doing this for the PvP implications. This is a GTA game at the end of the day, and if you can just lay in tall grass and snipe somebody from forever away, it might be a bit overpowered. Now the next one is no Disney World parody. This one is a bit surprising. I was hoping we would get like, you know, Magic Land or something like that, but the leak says it's not happening. Next up, the burglary mini game that was the staple of San Andreas will not be featured in GTA 6, which just feels like a missed opportunity given the focus on robbery with Jason and Lucia and the Bonnie and Clyde type story. Like, just give me the ability to just do like petty robbery.
Are we sure it's the Bonnie and Clyde type story still, by the way? Because that was one of the earliest things we heard about this game. That it's gonna be a Bonnie and Clyde type of story, and Lucy has a kid, by the way. So, good job being a good cuck. 10 out of 10.
In neighborhoods, like that would be so funny. Granted, it would have to, you know, require a lot more interable buildings, but either way, it is what it is. Now, before we wrap up, I want to touch on the timeline just a bit, because this right here is the other half of the puzzle. We've had a lot of doom and gloom about delays. We had one recently, but we just got a vote of confidence from the most reliable name in journalism, and that is Jason Schreier. Jason Schreier recently went on record stating that GTA 6 wasn't content ready yet, meaning they're still building the world and the missions and still doing motion capture work. But despite that, he now feels significantly more confident in the November 2026 release date than he ever did about 2025. This right here is a huge deal in my opinion. Schreier is not a hype man. If he says the date is solidifying, it means he has inside.
Schreier is the guy who also said that Dragon Age The Veil God was a success, and that go woke, go broke is not a real thing. So, you know, it is what it is.
Sources at Rockstar that are seeing the finish line. It also confirms that the delay out of 2025 wasn't a sign of development hell, but rather a calculated move to ensure the game is actually finished. So Schreier is more confident in November than I am as well. But that's gonna wrap it up with this video. Let me
Anyway, that was West Nemo 10 out of 10. Bye!